get the thoughts of Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim as his team prepares for that clash in North London.
We are a better team. We play better. We understand the game better. I think we are more confident. We reached that final confident that we could win because we were doing well in Europe. But in this moment, we play with a different confidence. We manage better the moments of the game. But if you remember that game, they have that shot on the goal. They won the game. So I expect a different game, that we can play better, but also to have a little bit luck to help us to win the game.
Okay, so he clearly has no interest in that stat of them having played 4 times last season and Spurs won all 4. He says, they can play a little bit of a different game and get some luck. Man United back.
I would love to confidently say that they are. There have been improvements, and I think that's probably the best place to land it, because I feel in the last seasons, every time they've got a result, it's been, can they be, is this going to be the change? Is this a change? And I think we've sort of had enough of that. But they have actually, in the last sort of 5-6 weeks, built up a run of results where you can say there is some consistency starting to be seen. And I do think Cunha is a big part of that, and Mbeumo has been a real sensation as well. And they are the ones, I think, when you watch United, they do bring an enjoyment that probably the fans feel they've not been able to enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, they don't play in Europe. And this is massive. And I know Spurs had an easy game against Copenhagen, but it's still another game. You don't train on the Tuesday before. You play on the Monday for the Tuesday game. Wednesday is you warm down. Then it's Thursday, Friday you play Saturday. They had the whole week to prepare tactically, physically, mentally for every game. And this counts. And Arsenal should count. Because everybody else is playing in Europe, even Crystal Palace. There's so many English teams in Europe, you can't count them anymore. So let's make it count if you're United and Amorim.
Yeah, Amorim, the manager of the month for October. And actually, Manchester United are 4 in a row unbeaten. They've never gone 5 in a row unbeaten under Amorim. I'm wondering if your predictions say that they can do that. Let's save it for the end of the show, though.
He's still a young striker. He's still obviously adapting to the Premier League, to a team that feels like it's still growing in their own confidence. Do you think Gary's comments a bit harsh or fair?
Look, I think he's obviously got an emotional attachment to it because of it being Manchester United. Listen, he's underperformed, 100%. We all know that. It takes time. We've been in dressing rooms before when players, let alone players coming from abroad, even players that move up and down his own country, it takes time to set into a new environment, a new culture. We don't know if there's family involved, who he's had to bring over. The price tag as well. They was crying out for a striker to come and sort of save Man United. So there's been a lot of pressure on there. And listen, it will take time. But what Ruben Amorim's saying there, he's in an environment now where we're going to help him as much as possible, and we'll get him to the top. Yeah.
Do you think, Rob, the senior players will be around him a lot in this moment, or is it just a case of kind of let him figure his own feet out?
You'd hope so. You'd hope they get around him and say, look, we've been through it. You look at Bruno Fernandes, he gets criticised from every angle. Yeah. He's the shining light of the team at times. And you look at Rasmus Højlund last season, was miles off it apparently. Yeah. Now banging in goals for Napoli. So you're looking at it saying this is a recurring theme here. This is not just Šeško himself. So Manchester United have been way off it. They've been getting their act together now. So you're thinking, well, let's back him, let's support him, let's help him get through this. And with him, we'll get through it. And we're showing signs of life. We're showing signs of form. We can work with him. The manager's getting every week to training with the team because they've not got European football. They're out of the League Cup. So they've got time to deal with him. So you've got all these things, facets working for you. Yeah. Make it work for you.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, it obviously, as you say, it is getting a little bit better. It feels like a little bit of consistency that they're building on. Jamie Carragher had that famous quote about Casemiro when he said, leave the football before the football leaves you. But even Casemiro, he's, building confidence. He's got 2 goals back to back. Do you think he's still, good enough for the Premier League? Do you think he's still up there?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's putting in some real solid performances. I think it's been helped him scoring goals, first of all, and vital goals at that. But it's been helped in a way, and Ruben Amorim's been really, really clever with his formation, that 3-4-3. There's certain times where he's pushed Luke Shaw in to bolster that midfield, because that's where they've been a bit overloaded in midfield with Fernandes and Casemiro against an opposition that normally have three in midfield. And then with their legs, they have struggled. But where Luke Shaw's sometimes gone in is an inverted fullback, or they've had to just pull the two wide men in. So that it gives them more of a basis of a midfield four. That's helped them, where it saved their legs so they can concentrate then about being on the.
That's Ryan Giggs. That's going back even for that's George Best, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
How would you feel as a Manchester United man in terms of this system going forward for the club, and whether you think of the players you played alongside as well?
I think as long as it's working, I think certainly in terms of supporters, people involved with the club, people just want to see the club being successful, and if they feel that this can be the best way to do that, they'll 100% get behind it, and you can see that with the fans. You get behind the manager.
I mean, Manchester United are probably on one of the best runs they've been on with Ruben Amorim right now. I think it's 4 unbeaten. But what would success look like for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United this season?
Definitely think qualifying for Europe, but I think they'll be pushing for Champions League. I think now that you're sort of looking at it, I think they probably feel like they maybe get a little sniff of that.
Do you still feel it's going to take more transfer windows to get the pieces that Ruben Amorim really needs to make this work?
I'm sure he's looking at it going, we'll sign well in the summer. I hope the club back me again, whether that's January, whether they can do that or not. But going into the summer for the next season,
how vital, sorry, Johnny, how vital is Bruno to all this, do you think?
People are questioning why Bruno's playing in a deeper role, but he's kind of in those inside positions, probably doesn't suit. They're probably like inverted wingers, aren't they, playing in those sort of 10 positions? I think here gives him a little bit more. You miss his creativity, I suppose, towards the edge of the box, but the manager certainly gives him license that when the team get higher up, Casemiro in this team will sit, and Bruno will be able to join the attack.
Bruno Fernandes plays there because he's probably the only central midfielder they've got. I know he's not a proper central midfielder. The only player who can get on the ball, get on the half-turn and feed these players between the lines. And that will take us to our next piece, Dave, after the break.
There is a theme. I like that. I like that. There is a link there. Yeah, we've got more analysis to come for you. We've got a live game from the Stadium of Light.
It's polarising, it's divisive, and it was at the forefront of Nottingham Forest's draw at home to Manchester United. Why? Because for the second week running, it couldn't intervene when a corner was, in Sean Dyche's view, incorrectly awarded against them. So we're asking you, do we need a change in the rules? Here's a reminder of what happened on Saturday.
I just can't understand it. You're an assistant